Hello everybody, it's Wyvern here, continuing my playthrough with Wurrzag. I know it's been a while since I did my last video on this campaign. Unfortunately I had some technical difficulties. I got through about 40 turns or so. I think it was about 30 or 40 turns of further gameplay on this campaign, and I was recording, hoping to put that up as a video, and unfortunately I didn't realize the video was being saved to a disk that was one of the smaller disks on my computer, and so I ran out of disk space, and that stopped the recording, and I lost all that data. I lost all that whole recording. So I'm back to turn 15, continuing from where I left off at Wurrzag playthrough 1. This stage of the game, I'm about to have a revolt in Galbaraz. Over here with Umar Gastau, he just shut down a revolt in Grunty Mingle, or around there. And yeah, just playing as Wurrzag, seeing what I can do. Looking at the map, it does seem like the Greenskins are probably going to lose Stone Mine Tower fairly soon. They do still control Black Crag. I do have to be wary of revolts in Dragonhorn Mines and Bitterstone Mines. I don't really want to go after Stone Mine Tower just yet. I will need to deal with this revolt though in Galbaraz, so I'm going to do. I'm going to swing Wurrzag around, march him close, and hopefully be able to intercept that army in a turn. Umug, I'm just going to swing him north. Gonna just let this revolt develop. It doesn't really matter. And I don't know if there's anything here that I need to upgrade. There's not, as far as I can tell. So I'm actually going to move the boss up here to the Ekron, or the Western Badlands. See if I can deploy him, see if I can get any use out of him. Nothing to build, I guess. So that'll be it for this turn. I do also want to take an opportunity here while I do this playthrough to kind of go over what I'm hoping to do with the channel, and kind of discuss like release schedule, how I plan to be doing, or how many videos I plan to be doing, that sort of thing. Definitely gonna level Bitterstone up here, and then I'm gonna have to wait on population growth again. Mingle, gonna go fortification. Yeah, fortifications in case the board prince is inside the backstabbing. This one I'm going to auto-resolve. They don't have a very big army, and I don't really feel like wasting too much time with this. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to run him down. Yeah, this is a very small force. Simply not worth chasing around. I'm not even sure. I think it replenishes you a little bit, even if you do the eating, even though it does 0%. As you can see, my guys over here did jump up by a little bit. I think it's based on what the overall losses for your entire force were. So when the only losses were on like one unit of Savage Orcs, and then or like how many force troops your whole force is missing when you do the eat captives thing. So I'm gonna move into Galbaraz. Try to bring up the happiness a little bit. Level Wurrzag up a tiny bit. Not going to go for Fear of the Prophet, like I said last time. It's a bit of a trap skill. I'm going to take Power of the Wall here. But anyway, I definitely wanted to discuss how I'm hoping to develop this channel, what I'm hoping to be doing. I do believe I set this wall loose on Dakraz. So currently I only have a handful of videos on here. Only it's about, I think it's 7 or 8 right now. And I've mostly been focusing on quick plays, doing quick matches. I used to do a lot of campaign, and I'm definitely hoping to keep doing that. I do want to get this Wurrzag campaign done before Norska comes out, so that I can immediately start a playthrough of them. Probably going to be doing Wulfric first. So definitely, if you guys are asking for me to do Throg, I'm not against doing that. So mostly that I just currently like the look of Wulfric a bit better. I definitely like the idea of a Marauder army with some mammoths and that sort of stuff. But definitely, I will be, still be doing campaign playthroughs, and hopefully I'll be doing more consistently now. I also will. For actual day. I'm hoping to be releasing videos daily. The videos I'll be releasing, it's probably going to be a daily quick play video. Those about 10 to 15 minute ones I've been doing. Just going over a battle. They'll be my battles for most part, unless you guys want to send some. Any of you viewers want to send yours in. We can. I can go over it, and we can kind of see what strategy, what worked, what didn't work. Just have some fun that way. So definitely, if people send me some replays, I'll go over those. I'll leave a link for where to email them down below. If you want to send any replays in. Otherwise, definitely we'll be putting up a. This is it for this turn. Definitely going to be putting up one video at least of quick play daily. Sometimes I'll be doing just like more serious builds, more general, well balanced stuff, and sometimes just those sort of silly builds like the aggressive dwarf build with all melee, or just stuff like that. And if you guys have any suggestions, or you have any builds you want me to try, feel free to post those in the comments. Anything like that. I'm definitely down to try silly stuff out. Just try some crazy strats out. There are plenty of them in the game. There's plenty of them I haven't even thought of. I know there's just a lot of stuff you can do in this game. And like I said, I've only just really started doing a decent amount of quick play. So. Crooked Fangs are the Red Fangs don't really want to confederate. I don't know if I can get Carrot Peaks. Maybe I could. No. I don't really want to confederate the Greenskins, because at this stage they're kind of zoning off the dwarves. So I think I'm going to leave this army here around Bitterstone. Try to heal this guy up. The Shaman's really beat up. And in the meantime, I'll keep Wurrzag down here until Calibraz builds up a little bit. I'll take a few turns, I think. So yeah, those in short are basically my plans for developing the channel. What's Grimgor doing? Oh, and it is not aggression back. That's great. But yeah, gonna be trying to post daily quick play videos, consistent, and I'll definitely on every few days I'll try to keep going with this, keep going along with campaign and gameplay. I'm not sure yet, but depending on how much time I have, I might start building up to doing 2 videos a day. The second one will probably be either campaign or like mod gameplay for Total War Warhammer, or 3 more Savage Rogue Hero Boys. So either mod gameplay, that sort of stuff. Otherwise, I will probably be doing. Gorkazan needs fortifications and money building. Actually, I'll scrap this and build a boss stent for now. I'll head towards the Red Fangs. Otherwise, I might also do some games that aren't Total War Warhammer. If you guys are if there's anything you guys are interested in, I do have a decent amount of RTS games. That's what I mostly played. So that's probably most of what my gameplay will be. But there's definitely some like non RTS games I do enjoy playing, and I might do some of those. I'll definitely see. Just have some fun footage for just stuff that's you know, might not necessarily be Total War, and just trying other games out, seeing what's out there, having fun. Otherwise, yeah, definitely gonna be. I'm committing that most of my content is obviously going to be Total War Warhammer. That is what I'm largely committing to. I'm gonna get Itchy Nuisance here. It's a very useful spell. Sneaky Stealing isn't too useful against dwarves. Bitterstone's almost level 3, which will let me fortify. But and I think that's it for this turn, unless I can get someone to confederate. But yeah, just gonna be focusing on that quick play for now, and some campaign. And gonna get a second. I'm just gonna focus on happiness or obedience for now because I just don't want to have to deal with the biggest problem for orcs is honestly dealing with uprisings in their home territory. We're just gonna expand. I'm gonna well, unfortunately the movement's going fairly slow here in the Badlands. I'm gonna try to reach Death Gorge and then kind of swing north, maybe wipe out Caracazul along the way. Bitterstone Mine can finally get fortifications. I'll pop the Shaman out to drop the cost here. Yeah. Once again, I will try to be responding or like doing like if people have specific requests or there's stuff that you guys are more interested in than others, then definitely those definitely post them up in the comments and I definitely might do some stuff that you guys ask for. Since I do want to be like responsive and don't know what the dwarves are thinking here. I think I should be able to hold Bitterstone. It doesn't have a garrison fort building right now, which is a little unfortunate. But even without one, Savage Orcs should do okay against dwarves, if not great. But yeah, for now I'm going to be focusing on Wurrzag. I'm going to declare, well, let's see, can I confederate them? Oh, I actually can. So I'm going to confederate them, which is going to tank my happiness, and that's a little unfortunate. I think these guys just lost the match, and that's why they were all of a sudden very, very, very willing to confederate. I'm going to scrap all these Gabo units. I don't really want this army. Scrap this guy too. The last Sorrow is really just kind of wrecked. I don't know why I built some of these buildings. It's kind of stupid. Karak Asgal doesn't even have a diamond mine. Death Gorge has a goblin thing. I don't want a Borstai. I'll leave that there. And I'll scrap the thing. And I'll just go for Kratom, and I'll try to shut down the Caracazul guys over here. I think the Misty Mountain's the southernmost point. Unfortunately, my happiness is dropping rather quickly here. I'll repair this before I drop money building. Depending on how quickly this campaign goes, I might be starting off a another one. I might manage to still. What? Where are these guys? I don't even know where they're on. Like where their bases are. Crooked Moon Mutinous gets while they're being annoying. And okay, that's a lot of money. That's good. Yeah, the Bloody Spears are way out of the way. I don't know what the AI thinks it's going to do. Gonna set up some buildings here. Gonna build up walls and all that sort of stuff. And then I'm gonna go after Caracazul. And definitely want to get Diamond Mine over here, which I just did really okay with shinies. I don't really think the happiness isn't dropping fast enough for me to worry about it, so I'm gonna put power shiny stuff there. I'm not too worried if I lose my northern territories here. I'm okay if the Caracazul guys take them. Oh, I could have fought that one. That was oh well. Unfortunately, like the auto-resolve mechanic, especially when it's very lopsided, is generally favorable just because your units, as far as I know, don't really get a penalty for get a money building and walls. Maybe I should actually, well, Grand teaming on these fortifications I think is a priority. I'm going to actually try to get this revolt started a little sooner. So that way I can mop it up over here and then go south and stop this revolt from getting out of hand. Crooked Fang Fort and Valiasar. I'll try to get a money building up in Valiasar. Wurrzag's leveled up. Let's see. Brainbuster. I don't really like Brainbuster. Fist of Gork's okay. I don't know if it has an overcast. It doesn't have an overcast variant. It just affects one unit, but not a bad upgrade. Definitely pretty powerful, especially if you drop it on like big guns or black orcs. Looks like I'll probably lose Valiasaro, so that was a bit of a waste building the recruiting structure there. The revolts do spawn right next to your capital in each province, so you do have some time just because there's walls. Unfortunately, I don't think dwarves are at war with the Muniscits, so I'll just do Gork. It doesn't really make too much of a difference either way. Gonna go all the way over here and go after Misty Mountain. Unfortunately, my happiness is now, or my obedience is dropping like a brick. I'm gonna build some fortifications here in Crooked Fang, try to get him up before Thorgrim reaches it. Valiasar was basically a lost cause. Unfortunately, I did just invest in it quite a bit. I can't really recruit any units over here. Galbraz is still gonna take another turn before it revolts, which is the Southern Badlands, so that's still a chance. I'm actually going to pull my Shaman out so that he doesn't take too much damage when I put down the revolt. And yeah, I think that's it for this turn. I do want to get to the Misty Mountains just so that I can consolidate this province, and then I'll start moving north. Try to take the Desolation of Nagash. I'm probably going to leave the Eastern Badlands alone for now because I don't really have a chance of taking Carrick 8 Peaks. Or at least not at this stage of the game. Maybe through Confederation down the road. And Valiasar is basically lost, so the only thing here is Crooked Fang Fort. I'm not that concerned about holding it. There's obviously nothing I can do here. I'm just going to auto-resolve. This solo unit of hammers could possibly win this battle. Granted, Savage Orcs actually do have some of the better garrisons in the game. I don't know if Grimgor's at war with the dwarves, and he might not be, which is kind of sad. The AI does sometimes get like weird peace treaties, or they'll take weird peace treaties, and then that can make things a little hard for you. Skull Takers, I don't want them to take the Misty Mountains here, but they are raiding. They are being a pain in the rear that way. I will see if the Carrick Azul guys are coming in. He's at war with Carrick Azul, but not at war with the dwarves, which is annoying, to say the least. I think I'm actually going to lose Crooked Fang Fort, so I'll actually just scrap that. I'll cancel construction. It's not going to be done. The Azul guys are going to take it, but I will take the Misty Mountain over here. I should have perhaps mounted up the top, not the orcs up there. I forget what they're called. I do have the Misty Mountain though now. I can drop not that. Another pile of shiny stuff. And then I'll swing back and hopefully mop all these dwarves. This is quite a bit of troops. Definitely not going to be fun to deal with. I do have another revolt to put down over here, which ought to be quick. As you can see, the units replenish rather well when you eat the enemy. So I think the percentage is based as a total of your overall army, rather than as the percentage of the units actually being healed up. I do still have one more turn here. I'm just going to swing it south, get into the Southern Badlands. Got to keep trying to level up these structures, but I'm not sure I want to do that right this moment. Happiness is obviously still dropping in this province. The loss of Valiasar, I'm probably going to lose Crooked Fang Fort, which is why I scrapped everything there. Carrick Asgal is really beat up. And that's where their revolt is going to be, or that they're really unhappy. I think the Carrick Azul guys might go after try to retake Kradtomen, but if I can catch them there, that would be ideal. And Kratoman is now fortified, so they can be a bit more of a pain. I'll upgrade the Misty Mountains a little bit and get more money out of Death Gorge. I don't want to invest too. The south should hold fairly well. I'll get another level on Gorgazan over there. A Warboar and a Raider. I do eventually want to get this guy on a Wyvern. The Wyvern is it's nice that it's a fairly easy to get flying mount, and not a weak one at that. It's not like a Pegasus or something. It definitely boosts you. It can definitely be a boost in combat. I can issue a commandment, and I'm hoping not to lose this province just yet. Obviously, there will be a revolt because that happiness is so low. We'll see what the Carcassol guys do, because Grimgor is coming over here. He might fight him. Looks like he's setting up an ambush, which means that he's not going to do anything. Currently, I'm not going to fight this. Once again, this is not at all. I don't really have a chance to hold this at all. And a lot of times it's worth confederating, even though like you'd end up losing, let's say, half the territory to confederate. It can definitely be worth it. Now we're hoping for over there on the where the Carcassol guys are pushing into my territory. I'm hoping that they besiege Kerk Asgal, and while they're besieging that, this rebellion will grow, and they'll kind of fight each other, or at the very least the dwarves will get scared off by that. I could use Underway here. I could fast march. Underway is actually a little quicker, so I'm going to go Underway. I do need to shut down this other revolt over here. I'm going to move within range of Galbaraz. Galbaraz does have a 15-man garrison. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, if I'll have a big enough force to deal with these guys next turn. I might need a regiment of renown or two, because this is a pretty sizable army, and they have much better units than I do. They have big guns, boar boy big guns, and I have a lot of savage orcs, boys and Arab boys, which isn't the best of forces. I do still have this happiness penalty from Confederation, but that should be cleared up within a turn or so. And definitely the lines are kind of being drawn, which is nice. That I did gain a province out of this, lost and out of this Confederation fairly easily, and I did lose some of those settlements, but it doesn't really. And I got into an additional war with Carcassol, but it's okay. Not really too concerned with that. The dwarves actually confederate Carcassol, which is interesting. I'm not sure what the Greenskins are going to do now, if they're just going to go to war with them, or... it's mildly frustrating, because that means that they're going to have much more staying power. The Carcassol guys, instead of just being an easy-to-crush army, are going to have much more staying power. I do still have these rebels over here who need to be mopped up. I'm going to try to get on top of them and deal with them. Gonna keep getting a shiny pit, try to get diamond mines. Orc home base economy is fairly weak. Definitely a lot weaker than, say, I'm gonna see how strong this army is. I'll put the shaman in this army. See how strong these guys are. This is definitely not a fight I want to be taking. I'll sit tight, let myself get besieged, and deal with him from there. It is a cowardly method of doing things, but simply put, I can't really fight him. Especially given that there's a morale penalty for the difficulty I'm on, obviously they're not going to win my auto resolve, and my leadership is 58. But if I went in to fight him, it would actually be 53, and his units would get an extra 10 leadership for the difficulty. So, simply not a fight I want to be taking. In the meantime, I'll mop these guys up. These orcs are traveling northward. And yeah, I think things are going fairly well. The dwarves push north. I don't entirely know what the dwarves are planning to do. The greenskins are completely screwed. I don't know. They have a wall, but they're not really doing much of anything. They only have one stack, which is kind of disappointing, and I think they only have 2 territories. So unless they can federate somebody. Interestingly enough, they decided to besiege me there. I could do a tribute for extra obedience, which is what I'm going to do, unfortunately. I don't normally do this unless it's late game and I already have an established economy. And it's gone into auto-resolve stage here. I'm I'm tempted to actually fight this just to get less casualties, because I can use the garrison forces cannon fodder. Auto resolve. I shouldn't have two. I don't understand how these savage works. Oh, and actually, okay, that works. And unfortunately, I just took a hit there because my obedience is now lower in all provinces, which is kind of bad. Orcs have a lot of annoying issues like that. Sneaky and stealing isn't too good at this stage of the game, but it will be later on. And if I end up fighting orcs for whatever reason, it'll be good. I'm going to level up the defenses. Maybe. I don't know. I'll move the shaman out, deploy him to make things cheaper, and then I'll see what I want to do from there. This was, interesting enough, I think this was a significantly weaker army than the one that spawned on the other side of the map. Probably because this has been a... And somehow that revolt managed to flee all the way up to there, which is a little, once again, a little frustrating. Misty Mountain I think is fairly safe, so I'm actually going to set up a boss camp there. Instead of fortifications just yet. And over here, Grunty Mingle. The problem is that sometimes you'll have border princes attack you. And I don't want to be unprepared, so that's why I'm going to build walls over in Grunty Mingle. And I'll want to upgrade Gorgazon fairly soon as well. Fortunately, my income is kind of climbing, which is definitely a good thing. That's definitely a boon. Otherwise, Galbraz's happiness is fairly high. I'm going to see. Let's see. The military crackdown is 8, and military presence is 3, so 11. So even if I leave, the happiness will stay. Even if my army leaves, the happiness will stay in the positive, and that's where you want to be with the orcs. It's rather difficult initially. They tend to have huge morale issues or happiness issues, but yeah, the obedience is in a nice spot right now. And Wurrzag's leveled again. I'm not actually sure I want either of these abilities, but I do want Arcane Conduit. And these aren't really spells I'd like you to spam too much. I'll give these spells a shot. It's okay. And I do just want to get Arcane Conduit. It's just so important. Yeah, getting to the Squiggly Beast will be nice too. Unfortunately, I still don't have the Baleful Mask. Upkeep will be good. The rest of this is fairly lackluster. There isn't much going for those. I need to use a hero to perform an action against the settlement owned by the Greenskins, which is a fairly swiftly dropping list of factions. And it has to be a success. It can't just be an action. It has to be a successful action. So, which isn't listed in there. You can't just fail an attempt, but that is definitely the case. That is a lot of dwarves. I'm definitely not too hyped about that. I don't want to lose Bitterstone. I might end up having to recruit either a new army or just a lot of regiments of renown to stop this. I don't think I have fortifications down south, even though I do have fortifications up in Bitterstone. These rebels are hitting me again, which won't be a problem because I have a decent army here. So I'll through this, eat them. I'm gonna move my army up to the border here. Actually, I'm gonna hop. Oh no, I can't. That was a mistake. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to stay here and heal. I was hoping to get set up a raiding camp, but that's not gonna happen. I'm gonna try to get fortifications up in Dragonhorn and build up some of an army here. Though I don't really have a lot of money, so building up much of anything will be difficult. I can get the shaman up. Next turn, if I can take Crooked Fang Fort and threaten the dwarves that way, they might turn back to try to defend their territory, which I'm kind of hoping to do. Once again, Wurrzag somehow got probably from that last battle, so I'll get him Brain Burst to just maybe they'll try them out at some point. Dwarves are definitely being a pain. They're pushing deeper and deeper into my territory. They're probably going to try to hit my settlement over here next turn. I might have to just retreat because I can't hold that against 3 armies of dwarves. Unfortunately, the fact that Grimgore isn't doing anything is definitely not helping me. He is reinforced by that other army. I have a 12-man garrison here. I could definitely give it a shot and try to defend, especially if I got some regiments of renown. Squighoppers, the Warlord's Boys, Restieras, Mulgrove's Marauders. And I'll give it a shot. I'll try to defend. Get those regiments of renown. Throw a shaman in there, and I might have a shot. It's gonna be a 20 and 12 stack, so against 11, 14, so 25. 42 against a 32 stack. Definitely not good for me. But I might be able to do something, especially if they don't push all 3 of their armies in there. And you never know. Maybe I'll luck out. Or maybe I won't. No, looks like I won't. No, actually, one of the units did retreat, and they just decided to besiege me. So, definitely fortunate for me. I just got a free Wa, which will be huge. That means I can sick him on Karak Azul. Or the former Karak Azul. And use Wurrzag. I don't know if I can set up an ambush. The orcs actually have some abilities, surprisingly, to set up have easier ambush set up. So, I don't know if I can do a breakout here. I could attempt it. I actually decide to retreat. I don't really want to pursue them because I can't, simply put. I could level up some of these. I could give Gorkazan fortifications. I did tell my Wa, I think, to attack Dringo Rakaz. I definitely want to control that. And I think that's it for money. This army is falling back with Ungrim. Apparently they already got Ungrim. I don't know if the dwarves confederated. The dwarves must be doing crazy good. That's actually really, really bad for me. They have 15 settlements. I don't know how they already got. I don't know if AI just gets heroes for free for doing nothing. Because assuming they control all of Desolation and Ash, it's 3 settlements. 1. It's 2 settlements. It's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 9, 10, 11, probably all of this. I don't know how, because the requirement for, I guess AI doesn't have the full requirements to get certain heroes. That's a little annoying, but what can you do? I can try to sally out and attack these guys with my shaman. Actually, no, I can't because it's too expensive. I'm too poor. I could attempt to assassinate Thorgrim and probably fail. It's all because I'm losing that 8 gold from it's all because I'm losing that 8 gold from the Crooked Fang Fort being raided there. So yeah, the dwarves are apparently capable of fielding a whole bunch of armies, which is not good for me. But I simply don't have time for this. I need to be clearing out all these dwarves. Trying to push them away. This Wa is going to hopefully mob up a Drinko Rakaz next turn. Let's put that up. Happiness building. I can't really. The problem is I can push them away, but then I can't sally out and actually attack them because going against a 28 stack with a. Well, actually, maybe I could do this if these guys would fight me, but they won't. Well, but not. This actually. So this time around, because they use a different army to besiege me, it actually might work out in my favor. I'm gonna go after the weaker guys first. I should be able to auto-resolve this battle. Eat them, which will heal up a lot of my army. And actually reduce my recruitment costs for savages. I can see what I can get with this guy. A raider. I can get. I'm actually gonna take Death from Bill. intimidating presence, because leadership is a huge issue against dwarves, especially at this stage. I'll try to fight Thorgrim. I don't know if he'll retreat. Well, this definitely isn't in my favor. Let's see. The problem is these guys don't have armor piercing. Neither do these guys. Yeah, they're unbreakable, but they're not going to do that much damage. He has hammers, which are going to do huge amounts of damage. And I'm not getting reinforcements. The problem is that I just don't have armor piercing, and the dwarves do have lots of armor and catapults. If I had like a handful, like maybe one or two big guns in here. Why does the Dirkit Squigs don't have armor piercing? To have sneaky stabbing. You know what? I'll give it a shot. Maybe it'll work out. Yeah, why not? And if it doesn't work out, if this fails, then as long as my hero and lord survive, then I can always just fall back to the fort. Obviously, I wouldn't be too pleased if I lost this army or lost this battle. But my opponent does kind of like he only has 3 ranged units. Now, obviously, range isn't ideal against dwarves with shields, but it's definitely a wonderful amount of. I put these guys up in the front to kind of eat shots. Unfortunately, I have a lot of shooting in this army, which is less than ideal against. I'm gonna try to spread these guys out, kind of daisy chain them. I don't want to be getting bombarded into oblivion. Gonna put these guys together into like kind of a command staff. Gonna put rusty arrows in the middle because they have short range. This way they can maybe flex a little bit. Not much because once again short gobbo range, but at least somewhat. Gonna put them in control group 4. Gonna try to put Dirkit Squigs out here on the flank. I want to get them into the Artie Park as fast as I can, and I'm gonna put Mogrov's Mangy Marauders out here on the flank, on the opposite flank. These guys are not particularly great against a lot of what they have, but they're not particularly great against like artillery or the Quarrelers, but they'll do a solid job if I can get them on top of the hammers, which is what I'm going to try to do because they do have armor piercing. Not a lot of ammo, unfortunately. Given the low damage per shot, that's a problem. But definitely, if I can get a shot on the hammers in the back there, this could work out very well. So I'm going to start battle and see how this goes. I'm going to swing Mogrov's Mangy Marauders. Already taking fire. At least it's not the Goblobber. So I gotta be thankful for that. Savage Orcs are not particularly susceptible to artillery, which is another thing to be thankful for. They're very, very scattered. And if my opponent like clumps up like this, that's actually perfect for me. Because I can drop my... I'm hoping to drop my Fanatics into him. They peak loonies. But I do have to be fairly close. I did forget that my lord's actually on a boar. So he's way ahead of my army. Not really able to... I'm going to see if I can flex around. Get behind him. The Dirkit Squigs trying to work their way around. Get into that back line. I want to get on top of that artillery. I gotta push quickly. As you can see, I haven't lost too much to their artillery fire. I'm not even sure if I've lost anything, really. Once again, also low tier, of course. Unfortunately, my opponent is kind of just moving to shut me down here. I'm going to try to cast these. I'm going to move straight into my opponent. Gobbos do have silver shields, so... These guys, the Gobbo Fanatics actually do armor piercing, and as you can see, they do a very decent amount of damage here against the dwarves. They're not going to get a lot of kills, but they will definitely soften them up. I'm going to try to focus these miners out, and then just push in as quickly as I can. As you can see, the hammers are actually being hurt really badly by the Mogrov's Mangy Marauders. That was weird, a weird cast there, but I will drop Itchy Nuisance on these guys. Gonna try to get in on these miners. Gonna try to focus out those quarrelers at the back with my archers. I don't know where my lord is. I'm gonna try to send him in to. I don't know why he. Probably because I moved the shaman, so he's in the kind of bad spot. But as you can see, the quarrelers are absolutely getting destroyed. Obviously, arc range, and I've mentioned this before. Orc range is not particularly good. I'm not a fan of it, but the Savage Orc Arrow Boys do have Frenzy, which I think actually might. I don't know if that boosts range fire actually. Charge bonus, weapon damage. No, I don't think it does. That's a little unfortunate, but what can you do? Darket's Quick is absolutely melting the Grudge Throw, and I'll get him into the back of these Quarrelers. The Morgo's Managing Marauders are tiny these hammers. The AI's being just stupid chasing them, but I'm not going to complain, obviously. And now my opponent is, or my AI, or the AI opponent over here is definitely being tied down. I'm going to cast the Fanatics into this clump over here. They will probably hit my guys, kind of, which is unfortunate, since I do believe they might do magic damage, and obviously Savage Orcs are susceptible to that. The hammers are already under half health. They're definitely getting overwhelmed. Thorgrim's army is just getting destroyed. I don't know where Thorgrim is. Thorgrim isn't the best of melee combatants. And interestingly enough, I should pop that way sooner. But interestingly enough, the Orc Boar gives them armor piercing. The Orc Boar mount, which is rare. Most mounts do not. Most foot mounts, or sorry, not foot mounts. Most ground mounts do not give armor piercing. I do assume the Norska Mammoth will. Miner's dying. Jerket's wait. My opponent should shatter shortly. Even the hammers are just getting shot to hell, and poor guys are dying. Obviously, this did use most of the ammo on the Mangy Marauders, but given how cheap the Mangy Marauders are in comparison to the unit of hammers, that's actually, I think, a pretty huge win. They don't do a lot of damage per shot. I think that's a big problem. Big problem that even with the armor piercing and not bad DPS, they only have 20 or like 18 rounds. I think it is like 20. Definitely gonna try to. I don't even need to get any kills here. This is end, and even Thorgrim died. In the worst case, I can always just pursue. But I do believe they've already retreated once. Yeah, so definitely, these were all hammer kills basically on the Mangy Marauders. And obviously, some happened after they already shattered, but definitely a good distraction. Yeah, it's just easy to manipulate that way. Then the Rusty Airs, and actually the Air Boys did really well, which surprises me a bit. The Orcs don't have the worst AP on their bows. I do believe it's like 4 or 5. So not as bad. So not as bad as a lot of other ranged units. I can actually see if I can't check apparently. Gonna eat them, get replenishment. And I can't actually chase them down, so I'll disband all my regiments for now until they stop taking up my money. Unfortunately, the hammers did get away because I didn't pursue. I thought this was the last fight, and I didn't think this through properly. But I'll go back into Dragonhorn Mines here. Get a boss's tent, build it, and get the horde started. Actually, I don't know if I can actually move the shaman out and deploy him, and that'll make things cheaper. I'll get Gorkil fixed it. Not a bad ability. And I'll scrap these buildings I just started building and build them again for cheaper. Yeah, that saved me a lot of money there. Wurrzag still pursuing. This is going fairly well. And yeah, we'll see what happens next turn. Dwarves, I guess, yeah, they're gonna flee. These guys are also trying to tunnel away. I don't know with this army. They're kind of just roaming around, being a pain in the rear. They have a lot of armies, and none of those armies are a particularly huge threat. But I'll definitely have to mop those up. I think. Let's see. My wad has occupied Ringo Rakaz, which I'm going to build up immediately. I'm going to take this army. I'm going to start pursuing these dwarves over here. I'm not going to bother with the ones up here north. They're a fairly small force, and I don't really think they can do much of anything. Remove the Shaman down bot. Hopefully get some upgrades on. My wall, going to sick him on Spite Peak. Hopefully start picking apart the territory over here. Going to level up Misty Mountain. Get more money. And end the turn here. Oh, I got another point here, which I could put into upgrading the orcs, my orc boys. Extra weapon strength isn't bad, especially because these will eventually be fairly strong units, and it does apply to everything. So if I run, say, black orcs, yeah, this could be useful. I don't really care for Shudas. It does boost missile damage, but orcs don't really rely on missile damage that much. So I'll probably go for the boys initially, get that extra damage and charge bonus, or get extra attack and charge bonus. Definitely, give me a second. I'm gonna look at the. Yeah, it's 5 armor piercing, so it's not obviously not on par with, say, handguns or like dedicated anti-armor, not swift shards, Starfire Shaft, bowmen or blade guard, or handgunners, or let alone way watchers. Obviously, not a match for any of those things, but I do hope the dwarves. I do wish the dwarves would tumble so I can get a shot at intercepting them. But it's just not happening. I did get underway interception here. I think I'll just auto-resolve this one. This helps. Mopping up these armies means that when they respawn, or then they build a new one, it's going to be all the way up north, and they have to pull that down. It just gives me time to kind of consolidate and deal with the south here. So yeah, I got a bunch of armies to mop up here. I do believe I'll be finishing the cast here. This is going to be, I'll save here. Pick it up in episode 3. Like I said, I will be aiming to release 1 video of quick play footage daily. And hopefully, as often as I can, I'll post up a second video on top of that, either of campaign, or of maybe some other games. I might start doing some other real-time strategy, or just other games gameplay for kicks. Maybe some mod reviews, or mod demonstrations showing different maps, different additions to Lore Warhammer, that sort of stuff. I'm not entirely decided on what exactly I'll want to do. But definitely that's something with the additional videos, but that's definitely something I'm hoping to get to. And definitely you guys can look forward to at least one video of quick play a day, whether that's just a for fun build, or like a serious, well-rounded kind of strat, or you know, just some advice and whatnot. If you guys do want to share your replays for quick play, do feel free to send them in. I'll post up the link down below. I appreciate you all for watching. If you like this video, feel free to hit like or subscribe down below. And if you have any input, any comments, criticism, critique, any ideas on how I can make my videos better, feel free to share those down in the comments. I'll be sure to read those and respond as soon as I can. Once again, I thank you all for watching, and Wyvern out.